Alright, once again, we're
once
starting
more
this.
into the breach, dear friends.
Alright, so we're doing The Age of Ban. We're talking about the comics we did with Ben, who
Ben.
used to draw the comics.
Me, Ben.
He's no longer doing it. You can tell we've recorded this a few times already.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to go through some of the 72 comics from his period of working with us.
First, the microphone wasn't plugged in, then there was a problem.
All right,
with
so
the window.
Don't explain it.
Yeah, you
All
don't
right.
have to. All right.
So we're
Give
going
us
to...
our names.
Okay, Alec.
Ben.
Simon.
Jonathan.
Alright, good. So we're going to go through these comics. There's going to be a brief pause while we switch comics. You're going to see the comics on the slideshow, which should be cool. Alright, and let's begin.
All right. First of all, we got these two links
Possessed.
again.
Right,
Yes,
they look possessed, as Simon says every time we do this.
Keep having to re-record it.
Again, all I really have to say is that they have very short legs, and
Midget links.
and again, this was before we had actual characters, so we
Yeah.
just used characters other people made for us.
White links
Parody.
and short legs.
Alright, I think we're,
And we're actually recording this time.
yeah, yay,
Hopefully
it's
it
working.
works.
It's freaking working.
What happens when you put the window?
Alright, well, it'll stop, but then we go back. So you'll
Okay.
feel like an awkward pause here as we switch comics.
There was
Okay, so
not.
Mega Man, the Mega Man, Lego Mega Man Card Battle 360 Advanced DS Unleash versus Gundam.
There's a building named DS, even though there's 360.
Alright, first of all,
that's not a building.
But it looks like it because it's not in color.
I guess.
Okay.
yeah, no one, I could never quite figure out what that thing in the corner was. Apparently,
It's supposed to be a Gundam hand. I don't know much about
But
Gundam
it looks like an
though.
exploding building or something else.
That's a weird explosion.
Spaceship.
alright, moving on.
I'm telling you, she's a fox, not some sort of
Stop
raisin.
doing that.
Bear Hat. Bear Hat, so,
Again,
It's
I
real.
look really angry and kind of like some random smelly hobo.
but he has a bear hat in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I really like this one just because it implies that all the really famous psychiatrists were friends and hung out together and possibly fought crime in their spare time.
It's a penis! What?
Right. Alright, and Ben?
Yeah?
That is an idea for a great comic.
Penis?
No,
No.
not penis. Psychiatrist
Penis,
fighting
the comic.
Who are you? I'm awesome! Look
Okay,
at his
You
freaking
don't need
teeth!
to narrate.
You don't need to narrate the comics, but let's talk about
These
the
people
teeth.
have eyes.
But seriously, look at his freaking teeth!
Well, yes, Batman has teeth. Although there were some who actually said when I did this comic, what are you talking about? Batman doesn't have teeth. True story.
Alright.
Okay.
Next.
Now we're recording.
We'll just talk about this whole run of Ultimate Birds, Ultimate Nords.
Nord is totally a thing.
Actually, I got a comment on that one.
What?
One of the only comments we've ever gotten from someone who isn't currently in this room. And it said, "Good catch, Nord is not a word." But yeah, and I like that the bird has the bear hat on.
Wait,
Alright,
yeah.
Actual characters.
So we got Jack and Bill here.
Wow, Jack looks different.
Put it on me again.
That's Bill.
Wow, Bill looks different. It still stands. I mean, look.
That's Jack there at the bottom.
Fork is a funny word to say. Fork, 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 fork.
He totally does.
Fork!
He totally
Shut up.
does
Okay.
look like he's doing a Shakespeare thing with
Yeah,
that
a few
spoon.
things. One, I love that he's wearing a Psycho Pirate shirt.
And for those of you who actually know who Psycho Pirate is, I hope that this was suitably awesome for
Yeah.
you.
But Psycho Pirate, for those of you who don't know, is a villain from DC's Earth 2. And
Yeah,
he is very awesome. He was on in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Check it out. Also, what is Jack playing? Is that an Atari 2600 with the button on the wrong end?
Yes. You know what? Yes.
Alright then. Moving along.
Here's Charlie's first disturbingly laid back appearance.
Yeah, Charlie is not supposed to be that calm. He's supposed to be like, "Yes, I am Charlie, the guy who's over dramatic all the time." Yes.
And by the way, this was the Marvel planning on killing off MJ rumor that actually turned out to be one more day.
Yeah. Which
I can't read half of this comic.
Well, yeah, you literally can't read half of this comic at this point. It's
yeah,
not up.
so but
You're drawing.
I'm still slightly convinced that this is what will happen to the Marvel universe. that they'll kill off everyone but Spider-Man and Wolverine and just make all the comics Spider-Man and Wolverine comics.
Spider-Man and Wolverine, buddies for life.
And Spidey and Wolvie, the college days, was Ben's idea.
Yeah. I'm so convinced that would be awesome.
All right.
What, would they have like a dorm or something?
Totally. Okay, now Naruto was actually the same friend of mine.
Well,
who was...
you didn't explain that, but yeah, the same friend who said that Batman didn't have teeth.
Yeah, that guy.
The guy who does stupid comments.
At one point, he was.
No, it's not stupid comments. It's just crazy comments. You're the one who does stupid comments.
At one point, he was pretending to be someone named Naruto X Goku, and he asked us if we liked Naruat,
And so I decided to make a comic about who Naruat is, and decided it was a parallel dimension version that has interdimensional yaoi.
Oh, of course.
That grin on your face.
Jonathan, would you like to comment?
Well, no.
Maybe.
I'm just kind of here.
And
He has a Mac.
again, Charlie has yet to go completely insane at this point.
He has a Mac.
All right,
Does-
moving on. All right, now we'll talk about
Recording
Chaos
again.
Academy as a whole.
Yeah.
So for me, basically, this started as two jokes. The first comic where he stabs the ogre, and then the second comic where he tries to hide the body, and the teacher's like, chaotic players don't hide the body.
Dr. Tux.
And
And
Dr. Tux ended up becoming way more popular, at least among people who I know who read the comics than I intended.
No.
but basically, the rest of it was just an excuse to make those jokes at the beginning.
Man.
But I've got a whole crazy storyline planned.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. Let's not try to spoil that, but it will be crazy once that
Very,
starts.
yes.
All right. Moving along.
And here's Maylock.
Oh my god, he's crazy.
Yeah, I was never able to capture the utter insanity of his first appearance.
Bam! Not Bam. Bam!
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Well, he's like Nightcrawler.
Yeah, anyway, but that basically I was trying to make it. Maylock was originally going to appear in the point and click adventure game. He was going to sort of represent the player in the point and click adventure game, and he controls all the other characters. But then
Eventually became his avatar.
Yeah, because I realized he would be useful in this, and so I made it Maylock, because Malik to be, sort of like that. Which ended up, that's why there's also Ban,
Yeah.
which is from an ad Ben made, which had a sock puppet fighting a dinosaur.
Yeah.
And so I turned that sock puppet into Ben's character.
Yay! Bam! This is
The
most-
no artist story
Look
arc.
what you did when you left,
This
Ben.
is the best comic ever.
Fortunately, this will not happen again this time,
Oh my
hopefully.
God, oh my
Because we
God.
actually have a new artist this time.
Ooh.
So that's good.
That's a wavy underline.
Yes, all be revealed. All right,
Yeah.
here's Ben's return after the no artist storyline.
Almost an entire page.
And Uncle Sam looks more accusing in this one. I know what you did.
And of course, we have the Mott the Hoople reference.
Oh dear God, the guy in the second panel is going to give me nightmares.
Yeah.
Oh dear
Okay,
God.
I think this is probably, I think it's Ben's best job of drawing the comic, or at least one of them.
Well, in this one, I decided to actually change things slightly from the original and have them changing slightly from panel to
Yeah,
panel.
and that was brilliant. I love Robot Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
Man,
And
what a
you can
God.
tell from this that I prefer Earth 2 to Earth 1 in the DC universe, since these are all Earth 2 heroes.
Yeah, it's got a bunch. My favorite part of this is definitely just the last panel.
Yep, it's Cliche Pirate has sort of become everyone's favorite character.
Well, of course, he's the cliche pirate.
Yeah. Shut
Don't be fooled to think it is a comic. It might look like a comic, but trust me when I say that it isn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
The end.
All right, yeah.
This one is rock.
All right.
So,
totally.
Well,
Great working with you guys. I'll
Yeah.
still be around though.
yeah,
I
yeah.
want to play video games.
Yep. All right, let's
That's a good note to end it on.
Yes. All right,
Super
let's.
Smash!
Yes. All right.
Yay! We
Okay.
agree on something.
Now, everyone, if you like these comics, I'm still writing the comics. Ben won't be drawing it, but he'll probably be drawing his own comic, which will appear on the site shortly.
And I will
Yes,
soon
indeed.
post reviews.
Yes, and
we can
we'll
figure
have a
out
new
how.
artist
Yeah, once we
drawing in color. It looks like.
Yeah.
Oh,
listen.
cool.
Yeah.
Color.
So
It's
check
more
that out. There should be a link in the description here, but just in case, It's www.ultimate-nerds.com.
Give
And
us
Jack